Hello, and welcome to reCappin with Delora
and Ashley.
Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at reCappin Podcast.
Also, rate, review, and subscribe to our show on your favorite podcast platform. We're on all the things.
We want to hear your thoughts on the movies and shows we review.
Leave us a comment on Apple Podcasts or our YouTube channel, and we will read them during the show.
Or reach out to us on social media. We love talking all things entertainment and pop culture with you.
Thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank you.
So we are back for the final day of the Dayton Black Women's Film Festival with the familiar face for us.
Yes.
And if you guys have not listened to her full In Conversation, it is out. Selena Burks Rentschler.
Oh, yay.
In the flesh.
Welcome.
Oh, thank you so much, Ashley and Delora, for having me back. This is awesome. I'm so glad that you guys were here throughout the festival, showing your support and your love. That energy is just so great.
Well, we appreciate having you back. I just kind of wanted to get your thoughts as we're wrapping up the film festival of what this year has meant to you, what the experience has been like for you, because you're not only a filmmaker and you're getting awarded the award this year, you're showing Saving Jackie, you're also on the committee. So you have a vested interest.
Very hard.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what's the experience been like for you this year?
Oh, it's been wonderful. I'm so proud of the committee that I'm on. I'm so proud of Angelina and the work that she's put into making this happen. It's incredible. I mean, from our meetings in January to now, it's just so fun and amazing to see it come to fruition.
Yeah.
That, you know, we are actually living this experience, and it's beautiful. So it means a lot to me to be a part of the process.
Amazing.
When was the last time your film was screened in a theater?
Oh, wow. That have to have been some decades ago when I was on the festival circuit. It did well. It traveled to New York and Chicago and Cleveland and LA. So it had a lot of good audience opportunities for engagement. But yeah, this is the first time in 20 years.
Wow.
So how does it feel? Are you excited? Are you nervous?
I'm nervous and I'm excited and I'm grateful.
Yes.
That's the thing that's grounding me, is the gratitude that I feel that, you know, someone thinks it's important enough to share with others, and it means the world to me.
Yeah. Give us a standout moment from any of the content we've seen. I mean, we had the shorts program, we had the Right Stay Spotlight, we had Seeds. Give us just something that has stuck with you or stood out for you.
Well, I love all of it. First off, I love all of it, but I have to say, I feel like it was really special to see my students be able to premiere their work here, and just the excitement that they had to be able to have their work be shown on a big screen, you know, at the Neon in Dayton, downtown Dayton. It's just, it means a lot to me to see the next generation coming up and what they're trying to do. So it's important to support them and nurture them. So that's probably something that touches my heart the most.
Oh, and they were so sweet. We got a chance to talk to them yesterday.
Yes.
And just so impressed with the level of talent and the level of like concept they have already.
Yes.
That's amazing.
I'm always really impressed by creatives. I'm like, where did you come up with this story? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, speaking of creative, you are award-winning. So, how does it feel to get your flowers from the Black community?
Oh my gosh, it means so much to me. Words really can't express how I truly feel. I'm just humbled. To be able to be seen by people who you make films for, and for them to find value in the work that I'm doing means so much to me, and I'm just humbled by the experience altogether. And to be a part of this festival, it's just, you know, I started my roots here in Dayton, so it means a lot.
Yeah. give us your hopes for next year.
For next year, oh man, I pray that we continue to go strong like we're doing, that the festival will continue to gain the interest of people across the Miami Valley region and even outside of the Miami Valley region. It's important for people to understand that this is a very special, unique place, this festival, and that it's a safe space and it's a space of love and encouragement and uplifting and empowerment. So my hope is that it continues to be a staple, that it continues to be here for the next coming filmmakers.
Yeah, love that. We've felt so embraced.
Absolutely.
Joining this year.
It is so, as you mentioned, affirming, and it's like you're being poured into as well, right? That I was leaving on cloud 9 after each day, so.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, congratulations again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Congratulations.
We're so excited to continue this journey with you guys, and whatever will come next, I'm sure will be fantastic.
Thank you so much again for your lovely support and just for your outreach and just all the amazing work that you guys do. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Selena.
Yay!
Yay for us.
Exactly.
We are here for the final day of the Dayton Black Women's Film Festival.
Did it, Ashley?
Oh my gosh.
When I tell you, this has been on my calendar for months.
Yeah.
And the fact that this is the final day, it's like a pinch me moment.
It really is. I was so nervous-guided when this started. And so it's
What
like...
is that? Nervous, scared, and excited.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so it's like, this is the day that I'm probably the most relaxed. We are in our Dayton Black Women's Film Festival merch.
I love swag.
Yeah.
Swag is like, whenever I can get it, I'm enthused about it.
Like
And
both types of swag. Like,
of all things.
swaggy, like fresh, and then swag like merch and all the free
Oh, my
stuff.
mama.
Yeah.
Oh, my hood.
Both types out here.
Always.
So yeah, I'm just excited and thrilled to like be able to kind of see the full picture and see
Yes.
it all kind of
Come
to fruition. Yeah, because
It is-
we talked to her about year one, but we got
Yes.
to be here live for year two.
Exactly. And the Neon has been a fantastic location to have this event as well.
Yep.
And I say this all the time on the podcast. It's always, I just love it when you put pen to paper and then see it come to life.
Oh, absolutely. And it gives us inspiration because Delora and I will be
Yes.
doing live events.
We
so,
will be. I was
yeah.
telling my parents that on the way here. I was like, Mom and Dad, like, this is the first one. You always need that first.
Yeah,
You
pop
know.
your cherry.
I was going to say first step.
It's late. It's late on a Sunday. What do y'all want from
Y'all know us. Y'all love
Yeah,
us. You know what it
exactly.
is.
Exactly.
But it opens up all the doors.
It opens up all the doors. So we did want to give kind of our thoughts on yesterday's program because we got a chance to see, and we talked to some of the Wright State students afterwards, but the Wright State University spotlight of, I think they're juniors.
They are.
In the motion picture program.
Yes.
And then we also had Ashley Coleman who was here, who's another filmmaker.
Yes.
And then we had the additional, like, some international short films that we got a chance to see.
In France.
Yeah. So Delora has the full program here.
Yes.
There you go. And so we're just going to talk about the programs in particular that we watched on Saturday. Yes. So Delora, we talked about it. Our biggest standout,
Yes.
the Jane Kennedy short documentary.
Interception. Made by, how do you pronounce her name?
I want to say Sophia Sungay, but if we butchered that, I am so sorry.
So sorry.
Yeah, we love you though. It was amazing.
But it was so good.
And I
was like, shout out 30 for 30.
That is exactly what I thought. I was like, they should have been had a 30 for 30. First black female sportscaster in history. How did I not know about this woman?
I know, and she's gorgeous. I know, that's just a random side note.
No, because I told Delora during the screening, I said, she's like one of Prince's girls.
Seriously,
yeah.
I was joking because one of a pivotal moment was her relationship with Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
And I was like, she wasn't one of his wives, right? Like,
right.
She was that gorgeous.
But yo, Muhammad Ali is a real one.
Yes,
he said, "I'm not working with anybody but Jane."
And you know what? I need more of that in today.
Exactly.
Because again, we talked about this on the podcast. It's like we need the men to stand up and be about it.
Exactly.
So, Lewis Hamilton actually is really good at that. The race car driver.
Yeah,
he's also super cute. But
yeah, we talk about Lewis. We just talked about him at the Met.
Yes,
so.
But that's what he does. Like he buys a table and he invites black creators and black creatives, whether it's like social media or fashion or what have you. But anyway, Interception was phenomenal. Again, we learned so much. She was on CBS football, I think, or
NFL Today.
NFL Today, thank you. And she paved the way for so many black women that we love today.
Yeah,
I think of Jamel Hill.
Yep.
Carrie, is it Champion? What is her last name?
I don't know all the ladies' names, but there's Taylor. There's a few.
Yes.
That are out today. They also showed, what's the one? She's so controversial now. Paige.
No, girl, no. Her name is Sage.
Sage. Look, I'm messing up her name. Sage Steele. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't claim her. Carrie Champion though is a real one, and I had her name right. So yeah.
Okay. The Jane Kennedy documentary in particular. Jane Kennedy, I was embarrassed to say I did not know her story.
Girl.
First black female sportscaster ever.
Nary a clue
on
who that woman. I was like, who is this lady?
Yes.
And it was so funny because, to your point, I'm like, I thought I knew all the first.
Yeah.
But her story was so compelling, and I was telling you this in our conversations post watching it. It is something being the first.
Yeah.
And it's like you always hear about figurative glass ceiling, but we forget that when you're the first to burst through, you get cut.
Yeah, and may lack acknowledgement because again, my mom and maybe that generation knew about her, but we didn't know about her, and she acknowledged the fact that some younger sportscasters don't give her flowers.
Exactly, not knowing what she had to go through, the fact that she was fired 3 times in a month, the emotional terrorism of that alone. Right?
Gloria Allred already doing her thing.
I was like, shout out to Gloria Allred, who has been putting in the work.
Putting in work. Fiery. If she's fiery now, can you imagine?
Can you imagine?
Coming through those doors at CBS.
Because, I mean, again, we've benefited by the women who have been, in corporate since the 80s and the 90s. You know how many women I've spoken to in my career that would say, because in the spaces I'm in are predominantly men in a very real way in terms of like engineering and tech. And I remember having a colleague tell me, she was like, oh yeah, they used to have the naked bikini girls in their cubicles. They didn't put those down into the late 90s. Wow. I was like, what? What?
They were Don Drapering it up in this mofo. Don was in his office getting drunk, taking naps. Having affairs on his lunch break. Yes.
A shout out to the...
That's hilarious because I really used to think the most scandalous thing they did was smoke. Like I had no idea.
I mean, that's why we take sexual harassment training. Because they don't know how to talk to women. Oh my gosh.
I would hear tales, because I worked in media for so long, about how back in the day, like it was no holds barred on the floor. Like they would cuss each other out.
Yeah.
I said, I wish somebody would. This is a different generation, a different era. That would not, no.
Yeah. But
I don't want to know how I'd handle it.
Shout out to Jane.
Yes.
The other one that we enjoyed, of course we enjoyed Brownies.
Brownies was superb.
Visually, it was stunning.
Yes.
It was the best production.
Yes.
Let's keep it real.
Spike Lee executive production.
Shout
what
out
do you
to
expect?
Him, as always.
Kudos, Aisha Ford. We got a chance to talk to her in advance as well.
We did. And I appreciate the Q&A at the end as well.
Oh, yeah. And you know what I loved? Like, Aisha, we love you. You told us afterwards you were a little bit nervous. I could see the distinction between probably her having more control over doing her Q&A and the comfort and the like light she had when she was talking about the film. I loved it so much. I hope she posts that somewhere.
Yes. What about you, Ashley?
So I just want to say one more thing about Brownies. Justice for Snot, okay?
Yes!
Y'all gonna treat my girl with some respect.
You know, I think a running theme in our conversations with the filmmakers representing Black girlhood.
Yes.
And I definitely connected with Snot.
Yes.
Like, I know what it's like to be like, I don't know about that.
Yeah. I also think I have become a kinder person as I've gotten older, so I can also relate to the idea. I'm so serious. I can also relate to the idea of like not having always been your best self when you were younger, and looking back on that and being like, ugh, that's so cringy.
Yeah. But you know what I appreciate?
Yeah. Growth, maturity.
Thank God for that.
Yeah. But Brownies was, I mean, beautifully shot. We were so excited to see it because we didn't get a chance to see it before we talked to her, the way we were able to with some other stuff.
We were asking.
Yeah. So gorgeously shot.
Yes.
Very interesting story. I agree with Spike of, did they say it or did they not say it?
Exactly.
Whose memory is faulty here?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the young girls did a phenomenal job. I remember Aisha saying that casting was one of her favorite parts of the process.
And this was shot during COVID, remember?
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing. Another one I wanted to highlight, of course, is going to be the documentary short as well that Angelina did on her grandmother, right? Exceptional.
Exceptional. I was inspired.
Yeah. It was beautiful.
Wow. First of all, it makes so much sense now. Yeah. When you watch that documentary, I'm like, oh, of course Angelina's gonna come up with a whole entire
exactly.
festival.
Look at who your grandmother was and the impact she made. And I was telling you I have friends who went to Revival Center Ministry, so I did not know that was Angelina's people. I was like, oh, yes. After Paul. Okay, got it.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I joke about this all the time, and we've talked about it all the time, but I grew up very ingrained into the church.
Yes, ma'am.
I had never seen a pastor preach in a wheelchair.
And
that was something that struck me while watching it. And it's like I said, inspired doesn't even capture how I felt after watching that documentary, but to see that after suffering from a stroke, she continued on to do so much.
Exactly.
So much.
Yeah, it was very inspiring. I just want to say too that I appreciate how, even though Ange is so good in making such an impact, she is always about giving everybody else their flowers as part of the process too. Giving kudos to Ashley and some of the other folks who helped her during the process of even making this documentary. And so, Ange, we know she's very generous. She's amazing with this festival, but in general, she's very kind. And I love that about her.
And that says a lot.
Yeah.
And,
and clearly lineage.
And clearly. But what I also love about Ange is her leadership. She does it with grace.
She does. She does it with a smile. She does. Because
anybody else would have been snippy or would have been pissed or would have been like, get out my face. But I felt bad because I actually just sent a message the day of about some tickets. I was like, I'm sorry for sending you this on the day of the first day, but you promised me tickets. Am I going to still get them? And I did. So, yeah. And she sent me a voicemail, and she was like, yes, cannot wait. And I'm like, I respect that.
Exactly. We can learn a little bit.
Yes.
Grandma's Garden is the name of that one. So that was definitely a standout.
But I love the fact that people were submitting their work.
Yeah. I mean, we even had one of the shorts internationally was from Barbados. Another one, I'm assuming maybe from somewhere in Africa.
Yeah, but they French speaking,
French,
so maybe
or Haiti.
Or that's true too.
Yeah.
So I just love the reach.
Yeah,
right? It's
for
an
sure.
international film festival.
It is.
Let's talk about the Right State Spotlight.
Yes, love those girls. We got a chance to talk to them as well, and they all had phenomenal shorts. Inspirations for different ones. Airbnb kicked things off with a bang.
With
Sierra,
a bang,
turned it up.
I was like, I didn't know I was signing up for a horror film.
But at first, like I said to her, I didn't know if it was real or not.
Was this a documentary?
Yeah.
Well, in addition to that, it was hilarious.
It was hilarious.
I was not expecting that.
No, and we had 2 shorts from Brittany, Braylon, and Greedy. And I said, I don't know if it got recorded, but I said when I saw Braylon, it reminded me of Tiana Taylor in that Medea film. Lord. Byron. So, like, that's what I envisioned it was going to be.
The fact that she's contributes such amazing performances, and, like, that's one of the main ones people go for.
It was such a standout moment.
It was. I cannot wait for her film with Leo.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna be good.
And Brittany really incorporated her family, which was beautiful.
Which I love. And you know what else I'm gonna say? I love that one of her goals is to make family-friendly films.
Absolutely.
We're so used to watching the debauchery of prestige television.
For sure.
Sometimes it's good to have a good
wholesome
show.
Yeah. For the kids.
For the children.
Family friendly for the kids.
Absolutely. I'm still wavering on what to introduce my child. I'm like, they do a little bit of cussing. We can probably introduce it. Just let her know it's a bad word, you know?
I mean, I don't have kids, but like for my friends who do have kids, if they're going to take them to see something and I've seen it, I'm like, okay, forewarning. Because like one of my girlfriends is like, oh, me and my daughter are going to go see Sinners. I was like, okay, well, there are 3 sex scenes.
No.
So how do you want to handle that? Because I don't have no kids. You know, I don't have to cover any eyes. So I don't know what we do as parents.
Funny. Part of my experience, though, my parents, again, were very strict on music. I wasn't allowed to listen to quote-unquote secular music.
Yeah.
That was sexual, you know. Shout out to Sinners.
Girl, I was singing Pumps and the Bumps back in the day. My dad put it in his sermon. I was like, sir, I'm in your car.
Listen. My parents claimed that they heard me singing Daisy Duke's song.
Look at that girl. And
they were like, oh, we're cutting this all off. It's acoustic Jesus guitar from now on. And that was my story until high school. But ask me, I watched all the movies. I'm out here in love with The Bodyguard.
Girl. At 4. 5.
You know how many? One of my favorite films off the bat was Braveheart.
Yeah, and that's war, Lord,
sex, violence.
That's crazy.
Insanity.
That's crazy.
And ask me when I watched it, probably under the age of 10.
Exactly. And that's why I said so many times on this podcast, y'all, and I'll continue to say, I was robbed that I was not able to watch in living color. Robbed. Yeah. I watched everything else.
I watched in living color. Yeah. But I say all that to say, I'm kind of that way in my parenting too. I'm like, is she ready? No, we'll hold off a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's fair.
We watched Conclave together.
We did.
No, with my child. I watched Conclave.
Oh, I was
with
like,
my
we
daughter.
did because we just recapped it.
Yeah.
But okay, got it. But that feels safe.
Yeah, it was safe.
Yeah,
but
and it's history.
She was just like, she was getting invested. She's like, so why are they going back and forth?
You see, we're so connected. I'm like, wasn't I there for that experience? I thought I was there. All right, so Sierra also did Darkest Depths, which we talked to her about. We actually just got a chance to meet the actor. From that film.
Yep, her boyfriend.
He was amazing.
Shout out to him, aspiring actor.
And then we had Dear Diary, and we talked to Jalen about that one. Her first rom-com.
First of all, I appreciated the diversity in what we saw, right? We saw documentaries, horror, family friendly, and then I was not expecting romance.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I love this.
And the fact that she was like, I don't mind a cringy romance. That was cute.
The ending was so shocking because you're talking about a man who's been reading your diary and be like,
Yeah, it could have taken a turn. For anyone who's watching you, that could have taken a turn.
Absolutely.
No Joe Goldberg's over here.
Exactly.
And then Grandma's Garden.
Girl.
Angelina's.
Let's give these people a moment to leave.
Yeah, guys, we're live, so people are living. I literally was behind a whole crazy motorcycle gang. I don't want to say gang. That sounds crazy. A whole motorcycle fleet that was on the highway recently today. So I don't know what's going on, but they're out there.
It's a beautiful day.
It's a beautiful day.
It's not raining. The sun is out. The temperatures are nice.
The temperature's like perfection.
It's perfect. Truly.
So Grandma's Garden was exceptional in the fact that not only is the founder, who literally just popped up, that's hilarious, not only is it from Angelina, the founder of the festival, but also, just the legacy and the appreciation of your folks who came before you and the impact that has on your life, right?
Yes.
Beautifully shot. Beautiful
Gorgeous.
Story.
I was completely floored by Angelina's grandma.
Absolutely.
And it's so funny because I told you this earlier. I'm like, of course Angelina's the way she is with a grandma like that. You know what I mean? Creating festivals and opportunities for people. And
absolutely.
I have to say something, Ashley.
Okay.
I'd never seen a pastor preach from a wheelchair before.
Same.
And I was completely inspired and completely impressed with, you know, the resiliency that her grandmother had in her life after facing such, you know, medical hurdles.
Yeah, and also international legacy.
Yes.
Right? We're talking about her impact, opening up a church in India, having a whale named after her. Bruh.
I mean,
goals.
Listen.
Reaching far beyond. Because I think
Yes.
a lot of times when I think about impact, I'm like, yeah, I want to impact my community. I want to impact my family.
Yeah.
But like that level of reach.
Yes.
That's amazing. And then I didn't know her family was Revival Center Ministries. Like, I have friends who went there for years. I was like, oh, Pastor Paul's your people. I had no idea. So it was definitely a great moment, but also, like I said, just impactful. And that's what so many of these shorts and these films that we've got a chance to see are very impactful.
Yes.
And I'm so impressed with the level of talent that we have in Dayton that's coming out of the Right State program.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm just really impressed with, again, Angelina saw an opportunity. She was the only Black person in the film school. And now that she was able to showcase, I believe there were 4 or 3?
There were 3.
3
Yep.
young ladies.
Outside of Angelina. 3.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love that for us.
The last one I want to talk about was Superheroine, Ashley Coleman's short. Yes! We got a chance to chat with her after as well.
We did.
I love the idea of finding yourself, embracing
Yes.
your full identity.
We spoke to her about this, and it still remains true. It's like, you do not let the world tell you who you are. You tell the world who you are.
Yep.
You have that power, and I feel like a lot of us do not have that agency at a very young age. And so she talked about this in her film.